We're back, ladies and gentlemen, a brand new edition of PWR Tonight. A lot to get to, including results from last night's New Japan event on Access Television. Daniel Bryan reinstated. Is someone else on their way back to WWE? And also a surprise inductor of the main event inductee into the Hall of Fame from WWE this year. All that and much, much more right here on PWR Tonight for Monday, March 26, 2018. Out there, everybody. Damian Nelson coming to you here from the PWR studios, back after a week-long absence. Thank you very much for joining us again. Apologize for not being with you last week. I was actually traveling in Beijing, China on some business out there, so was not able to, for many reasons, bring you the nightly episodes of PWR Tonight. But we will be with you all week this week, and then next week from New Orleans. We hit the ground on Monday in New Orleans for all of our preparations for the big events that PWR has planned, including Shenanigans on Friday night at the Bourbon Cowboy on Bourbon Street. But with that, let's get to today's hot news. Daniel Bryan has been reinstated, which is old news for a lot of you at this point, but it happened last Tuesday night on SmackDown. Daniel Bryan has been medically cleared to return to a WWE ring, and if you've been watching this show, you've known for the last several weeks, if not months, that I had foreseen that Daniel Bryan would be in a performing role of wrestling at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, the place where he won it all back at WrestleMania 30. Now it appears as if he will be a tag team partner of Shane McMahon going up against the team of the endorsed Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So much passion, so much heat in this matchup, so much emotion in this matchup with three excellent competitors and one tremendous daredevil. There will be spectacular moments in this matchup for sure, and this might be one of the matches people don't expect to be talking about for years to come, but probably will be talking about for years to come. Now, we have learned that apparently Daniel Bryan is going to be returning on a limited schedule, WWE being very careful. It took 3 doctors to finally get him cleared to come back from his concussion issues to in-ring work for the first time in, I believe, 2 years. His contract said to expire later this year with WWE, and many had believed he would be seeking other opportunities outside the company if not permitted to wrestle. So you got to wonder how much politics are involved in this situation. But regardless of all that, let's not care. Let's simply care about the fact that the Yes chant will be returning to the Superdome, and Daniel Bryan will be returning to in-ring action at the Superdome as well. Again, watch out for this match, folks. I think it's going to be better than we think it is, and I think it's going to be tremendously fantastic. Last night, from the West Coast, New Japan Pro Wrestling returned to the United States and aired live on Access TV. And a big event with several tremendous matchups, including several great tag team matchups. I didn't watch the whole show. I'm going to fully disclose that right now, but I did watch live, actually during the replay yesterday evening, some of the key matchups between that and getting caught up on Shameless, which I don't know what took me so long, but I freaking love that show. But be that as it may, the main event saw the Young Bucks go up against the Golden Lovers. The Golden Lovers coming out victorious in that matchup. However, it would be what would happen after the match, featuring the one and only endorsed Cody Rhodes. That would be the talk of the town. Of course, that also leading to an apology being issued by Cody Rhodes via social media today for accidentally striking who he thought was Kenny Omega, but was not. So, great storyline continuing there in New Japan. They will be returning on July 7th, I believe it is, to the States again for another big show and some good show, good effort, definitely on Access TV. Now, it wasn't, how do I phrase this? It was great wrestling. The crowd was great. The crowd was hot. I thought the commentary was actually a little off, only from the point that it felt like it was being presented as an afterthought, which is arguably what it should be in wrestling, not the forefront. And I'm not sure I got enough story and character development from some of the sub matchups. But overall, I was entertained for the portions of the show I watched and enjoyed it for sure. I want to hear your thoughts, so please share your thoughts with us right here on our YouTube channel and on Facebook if you're watching there as well. Your thoughts on last night's New Japan Strong Style event on Access TV. Reports are surfacing, and WWE has commented on a potential return of Hulk Hogan to the company. Hulk Hogan, who you know in 2015 was released quite abruptly from WWE after the information about his, his adult film and subsequent language on said film was released. Now, Hogan has since won a lawsuit. I believe he's supposed to be taking home around $31 million from the defunct Gawker, defunct like WCW, Gawker company. But we don't know if or when he will see any of that money. But we do know that WWE has said that they have indeed been in talks recently with Hulk Hogan and may be considering bringing him back to share his story, paraphrasing a bit what they said there. So time heals all wounds, and if Hogan can keep his nose clean, which I don't know if it matters in this day and age with our current president, not a knock, but the truth. These type of issues seem to be going by the wayside in the court of personal opinion, or public opinion rather. So, you know, hey, we're all going to pop if Hogan's back. We're all going to love it if Hogan's back. We're all going to dismiss the challenges that he had if Hogan's back. Some people have made some comparisons to some of the people we have adored who have had some more sordid histories, if you will, in the wrestling business, and quite frankly, the Ultimate Warrior being one of them. But whatever happens, Hogan back in WWE. Remember, it was WrestleMania 30, where he, The Rock, and Austin stood in the ring for the first time ever and sort of passed that torch at WrestleMania 30. And let's keep talking about that. We go back to WrestleMania 30, substantial and significant in many ways. The streak ended. Daniel Bryan won the championship, defeating both Triple H and Batista in the same night. Hogan, Austin, Rock in the same ring at the same time for the first time ever. Quite historic was that night. I remember sitting in the PWR suite at WrestleMania 30 in the Superdome, and after that opening segment with the three of those men said, I can go home. I don't need to see anything else. I'm good to go. But the show would continue, and the show would continue to entertain as it did at WrestleMania 30. Speaking of WrestleMania 30, 34, 30, and now 35, which will be next year, WWE, the company, has announced that that show will be returning to MetLife Stadium in the New York, New Jersey market. Some quick double backs for these upcoming WrestleMania events, and you got to think about it internationally and globally. There are some cities that are easier than others, New York being one of those. That's quite simple from an international travel standpoint. To get people from dozens of countries and all 50 states that come to this thing. And if you can go to an infrastructure that you've already used and do an event that you've already done in that venue and those venues, they'll be using the Barclays Center as well. It becomes a more cost-effective approach to doing the show. And they've got to take those things into consideration as a publicly traded company and one that has to deliver continued value to its shareholders. So we will, of course, be in New York again, and shenanigans will come back. This time, Bob Backlund won't screw us over, because if you remember when we were there for WrestleMania 29, on top of the Hotel Pennsylvania, right across from Madison Square Garden, that was when Bob Backlund took the Hall of Fame to a Broadway edition. Going to almost midnight did that show go, so people were late getting the shenanigans party. But that will hopefully not be the case. It shouldn't be the case in 2019. But before we get there, we've got the 2018 event coming on next Friday night at the Bourbon Cowboy on Bourbon Street. It is, without a doubt, the biggest party event happening in all of WrestleMania weekend. Look, let me put it to you this way. You will be drinking in New Orleans. You will be on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. You will see wrestling stars on occasion at shows in New Orleans. Why not lump all that into one pretty little package? You do it with us at Shenanigans, the VIP balcony party occurring on Bourbon Street at the Bourbon Cowboy Friday night, 11 p.m. Starts after the Hall of Fame, after Impact versus Lucha Underground, and we'll go until, well, the sun comes out, quite frankly. Open bar, 3 hours of open bar, included for all attendees. And right now, we announced today, you get $10 off your general admission tickets. $10 off your general admission tickets. Just go right now to pwrshow.com, pwrshow.com, and order tickets. No code needed, no nothing. $10 off general admission tickets for a limited time only. And VIP is creeping closer and closer to being sold out. So don't miss out on this opportunity, where we have already had to expand into other stretches of the venue. And soon that will include the largest, well, we're not going to spoil that, but more to come on the big party event of WrestleMania weekend. That's next Friday night, and don't miss out. Last year, if you recall, tickets were not available at the door. People waited upwards of over an hour to get in, for people to leave, for space to become available, and it was a shenanigans did ensue, so don't miss out. Shenanigans, the VIP party, hosted by Kevin Nash, featuring Kevin Nash, rather, hosted by SoCal Val. It's going to be a huge event. And matter of fact, as we're speaking, I've received a couple of texts here from some other talents who are going to be there as well. And I do recognize who the hell this is. But more on all those talents listed right now at PWRshow.com. Again, that's PWRshow.com. And finally, folks, WWE announced that Paul Heyman will be inducting Goldberg into the WWE Hall of Fame. Did I miss something there? I don't see the connection. I must be missing something there. Paul Heyman will do a great job. Paul Heyman is a great person who can speak to the talents of any talent. And Goldberg being inducted by he at the Hall of Fame on Friday night. It's Friday night. It's right before the party I was just talking about in New Orleans as part of WrestleMania weekend. So with that, folks, this has been PWR Tonight. I'm in a damn good mood. I'm back with you, my peeps. And we are back here for PWR Tonight. We are on our way to New Orleans, Louisiana for WrestleMania. But before we get there tonight, it's WWE Raw. Will we see The Undertaker? Will he finally accept the challenge of John Cena? What will happen continuously here with Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle? We hear that a brother might be backstage. There's a lot going on. Big time in wrestling, big time in WWE. You should be excited as a wrestling fan, as I am as a wrestling fan. And I look forward to talking with you tomorrow night about WWE Raw. Share your thoughts, share your comments with us right here on this video and on our social media channels to be a part of the conversation. For all of us here at PWR, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you very much for joining us here for PWR